Hello, everybody. I am Caleb the Sports Guy, and welcome to Caleb the Sports Guy's official NFL playoff prediction. We got the 2022-2023 playoff picture right here in front of us. Everything set up, everything set in. Before we get into today's video, though, I will like to say, if you enjoy what you see today, make sure to go like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your predictions down in the comments below. If you agree with mine, let me know. If you don't agree, let me know what maybe you think I got wrong, got not wrong. Let me know. So, let's start with AFC. We're going to predict the whole entire AFC, then we'll predict the whole entire NFC, then we'll predict the Super Bowl. This is my full prediction video. So, let's start in the wild card round for the AFC. We got the Jaguars versus the Chargers. Now, these two teams both had really solid seasons, honestly. The Jaguars snuck into the AFC South title with a solid second half of the season with a couple big upset victories and just overall playing some really good football at times. Their offense can be very electric while their defense can make big plays. However, when the offense and defense struggles, it becomes a mishap of parts for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Lawrence gets a little bit under pressure too much, it seems like he overthrows the ball and still struggles. However, the Jaguars still have a ton of potential, especially since this game is being played in Jacksonville. Now, the LA Chargers, they are getting fully healthy, and they have looked really good ever since starting to get their pieces back together. And honestly, these guys look like a legit team to make some noise in these playoffs. Now, while their offense is amazing, I don't 100% know how to feel about their defense yet because it's really hit or miss some weeks. So, with my prediction, my first pick, Jaguars versus Chargers, knowing everything, I'm going to go with the Chargers for this one. I think the Chargers are just a little bit of the better team. I think the Chargers can show up and get a big win right here. And unfortunately, while I think this is the first of many AFC South titles with Trevor Lawrence at the helm of the Jaguars quarterback, I don't think it's their time to win a playoff game at the moment. Bengals-Ravens. This game could be a lot really interesting or really not interesting. And it all comes down to one thing, and that's whether or not Lamar Jackson plays. So in Baltimore, before we talk about Cincinnati, Baltimore, their big thing right now is that who's going to start at quarterback this week? Is it going to be Lamar Jackson? Is it going to be Anthony Brown or Tyler Huntley? Who is it going to be at the quarterback? And the other thing is, are they even 100% healthy enough to go beat this Bengals team? Which while we'll hop over to the Bengals team. This offense is electric. The team is electric. The defense is playing better and better by the week. The offensive line's better. I think there's a better team than what went to the Super Bowl last year. So, with my second pick, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. If Lamar was healthy, maybe this is a little bit of a different game, but I think if he does play, he's not 100%. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati to win this game. Bills versus Dolphins. No Tua confirmed now. It'll either be Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson making the start for the Miami Dolphins. The Bills are ready to go, and they're 100% ready to go. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to just trounce Miami here. As unfortunate as that is for the Dolphins, who got into the playoffs at the last second. Now, Bengals-Bills, a rematch of the Monday Night Football match we did not get, so I'm very excited to see this. The game should be being played in Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken, if these two meet up. So with Bengals versus the Bills, this is a key matchup, and a marquee matchup at that. So with everything being noted, I like both these teams, and I like them both a lot. But I think the Bills are going to get the win. I think the Bills are just that little bit better than Cincinnati. And I think the Bills are finally going to get over that hump and get back to a conference championship game. First one since, I believe, 2021. Pretty sure they went in 2021 when the Chiefs lost to the Buccaneers at Super Bowl. So yes, first one since 2021. Obviously, they lost in the division round to the Chiefs year 4. Now, speaking about the Chiefs, they're getting to play the Chargers. We already went over the Chargers and everything. The Chiefs, here's my thing about Kansas City. I think they're a really good football team again this year. However, their defense has a lot of concerns for me. And if the team can game plan well enough for it, they're really easy to stop on offense. Now, here's my biggest plight of this game. It is really hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. And it's also hard when the other 2 times you beat the team, they weren't surefire victories. Now, the Chargers traveling to Kansas City is great for the Chiefs as it's a great atmosphere. But I'm going to make my first upset prediction of the playoffs. I'm going to say the LA Chargers shock the world and knock down the Chiefs in the division around this year. I know it's a very, very bold prediction, but I need at least one every single year, and that's my bold pick. I think the Chargers go to the AFC title game to play the Buffalo Bills. And in the AFC title game, I think Buffalo is going to run to the Super Bowl. I think Buffalo plays a great game. I think it's going to be a great game. However, I think Buffalo's experience here is going to help them out a lot. They have been in this situation before. They're ready, and I think this is the year the Buffalo Bills finally reach that Super Bowl. So there we go. Predicted the AFC side of things. So now let's predict the NFC side of things and see who the Bills will be facing off in the Super Bowl. Buccaneers Cowboys is the first match we'll go over. Let's start with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, they had a very tipsy-turvy season. They dealt with a lot of injuries, especially their offensive line. Receiving core at times was injured, and their defense just didn't play like I feel like it should have throughout the year. Tom Brady definitely showed his age at some points, but in the win against Carolina, it looked like the Buccaneers are finally starting to find their stride. And against Atlanta, with Brady and majority of the starters sitting out for all but the first couple of drives of that game, it does give them a little bit of a rest. Now, the nice thing is that they're playing Dallas, a team that the Buccaneers already beat this year back in week number 1, and they know how to game plan really well. I think this is a great match for Tampa Bay, and here's my concern for Dallas right now. They played in a game that they needed to win last week against the Commanders, and they really struggled against a good defense. And it just didn't instill any confidence in me that the Cowboys could get the job done. Now they're going on the road. They're going to go meet the Buccaneers in Tampa. So, I do think, yet again, the Cowboys get round 1 did. Cowboys fans, you can boo me in the comments down below. I understand it, but I think this is just... The team is great, but matchups do not favor you guys here, and I think you guys get eliminated by Tampa Bay. Vikings versus the Giants. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings go against Daniel Jones and the New York Giants. And I love this Giants defense a lot. I got to start with that. The Giants defense has impressed me so much this year, and I cannot even begin to explain how impressed I have been with the Giants and everything they've been able to do this year on defense. The opposite side of the ball, Daniel Jones has definitely taken a step up and has improved his level of game. That probably could keep him as a starter for the Giants for another couple of years if he can keep playing like this. For the Vikings, they both give me a lot of hope in a team that can go far, but they also give me the fear of a team that get easily first rounded. Now, I feel like either or is possible this week. I feel like either team can get a win. However, for this week at least, I will be sticking with Minnesota to go to the next round. So now 49ers versus the Seahawks. The 49ers, Brock Purdy's going to be their quarterback, and they look great. They're getting healthy. Debo and Elijah Mitchell played last week against the Cardinals, and the Niners are looking 100% ready for a strong playoff push. And they're favorites right now. They're the hottest team in football. They're one of the best teams in football, and it's going to be really hard to take these guys down, in my opinion. A top-tier defense, a great offense with so many weapons. And then they get the Seattle Seahawks again. 3rd time this year. I already talked about facing a team 3 times this year. However, there's one key difference. When I talked about the Chargers-Chiefs, it was the fact that they faced off 3 times, but the Chargers kept it close both times the Chiefs beat them. For the other hand, the Niners have trounced the Seahawks each time they've met them. The Seahawks struggled to get the ball going in each game. In the second game, it took them until the 4th quarter to even get into the end zone, and that was in Seattle. Now you're asking them to go to San Francisco and play the hot 49ers, who do not look like they're going to lose a game anytime soon. I'm going to take that how it is. I think the 49ers are going to trounce the Seahawks again. So, that sets up my division around in the NFC. Buccaneers, Eagles, Vikings, Niners. Start with Buccaneers, Eagles. The Eagles, their offense is great, and it's electric, and it plays so well. There's a little bit of concern because Jalen Hurts, it has been said by Nick Sirianni, he was playing with a lot of pain on Sunday against the Giants. However, he does get an extra week of rest between that and the wild card week, and then he gets another pretty much whole week to get ready and prepared and make sure his body's 100% for the division round game against Tampa Bay. And I feel like that's the difference maker. The fact that the Eagles' offense can be electric and make plays is the difference maker over a Tampa Bay offense that just cannot seem to get going at times. While their defense can keep them in games, it's really hard to keep yourself in a game when the offense is so electric. So the Eagles are going to be hosting the NFC Championship game. Vikings versus the 49ers. The Vikings have been the king of one-score games this year. However, I don't think this is going to be a one-score game. The 49ers offense is extremely electric, going against a terrible Minnesota Vikings defense. And if you've been watching Vikings football this year, when they run into a top-tier defense, that offense flatlines, and it flatlines quick. And if they get behind by too much, unless you're the Indianapolis Colts, the Niners are going to run away and beat you. So with that, I'm going to take the 49ers to go to the NFC Championship game and meet up with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the NFC Championship game, the number 2 49ers play the number 1 Philadelphia Eagles. And I like both these teams. I think both teams are strong contenders to make a noise anywhere they need to go. And I like both these teams. However, I do like the Niners defense a lot better. And I feel like they have more weapons to spread out the offense more. And I feel like that can make the Eagles' night very tricky. While it is in Philadelphia, I'm going to go with the 49ers to make it to the Super Bowl. So now, who wins the Super Bowl? Is it going to be the Buffalo Bills or the San Francisco 49ers? I love Buffalo. I think they're a great team with a great story this year. They are held together by everything, and they've been through so much as a team and an organization this year. It feels like it would be in the storybook ending for the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl this year and finally get that first ring after losing 4 in a row back in the 90s. However, it's also been a insane year for San Francisco. Going through so much quarterback controversy this year after the offseason of quarterback controversy with Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance breaks his ankle. Garoppolo comes in. The team looks electric. You trade for Christian McCaffrey. Then Garoppolo goes down with injury. You think the season's over. Then Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy out of nowhere comes in, puts the team on his shoulders, plays great in his starts, and goes undefeated as a starter in the regular season. And, if everything's predicted right, would be undefeated going into the Super Bowl. The Niners' defense has been electric, and it'd be the perfect fairy tale ending to say that you drafted Mr. Irrelevant, and he was the guy that put your team on the shoulders and carried you to the Super Bowl. So, who wins it? Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills? Or Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers? My pick is the 49ers. Here's why. I think the 49ers win the Super Bowl this year because I like their defense better. I think their weapons on offense is just way too much to handle at times. When you look at every single thing that the Bills would have to deal with in this game, it's ridiculous to go over it. The fact that you'd have to find a way to slow down Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, go against a top-notch offensive line with no Von Miller. May add that. And then when you flip the side of the ball, yes, you have an electric offense, but it's an offense that's so grounded in a running quarterback. And what did the Niners have almost better than any group in the NFL? An amazing linebacking core and front seven with Fred Warner and Nick Bosa who are both great at getting to the quarterback, and when they get their hands on the quarterback, taking the quarterback down. While the secondary is very, very stringy at times and can let big plays happen, it's a matter of how much can the Bills protect Josh Allen to keep those big plays going? Or do the Niners suffocate Allen and play great enough? I think the Niners' safeties are great. I don't like their corners too well, but I think it's enough to hold the Bills down for long enough for the Niners' offense to run into a game. This game could easily turn into a shootout at the same exact time. And if it turned into a shootout, it could change a lot of different things. However, I feel like the Niners could hop into an early lead, let Purdy get comfortable. When the Bills start making plays, it's about the time where it's already a 2-score game, so Purdy just needs to find a way to keep it there, and the defense needs to find a way to keep it there. And if they can do that, the San Francisco 49ers will be your Super Bowl champions this year. That is my predictions. If you agree with me, let me know down in the comments below. If you don't agree with me and feel like my predictions are not it at all, then leave your predictions down in the comments below, and we'll see who's right. The playoffs start this weekend, Saturday at 3 o'clock, Seahawks versus 49ers. I hope everybody is ready for this. It's going to be an amazing week of football. Wild card weekend, here we go, and we'll be back again next Tuesday for the whole entire recap of Wild Card Weekend. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.